Hello, and welcome to the Personal Growth Talks podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co host, Julia. How are you doing today, Julia?
Hi, Jason. I'm doing great and super excited for today's episode. This is going to be such a valuable conversation for anyone looking to grow and transform their mindset.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving into a topic that can truly change your life. Books that have the power to transform the way you think, live, and approach challenges. If you've ever felt stuck, uninspired, or unsure of how to move forward, the right book can be like a guide, showing you a new perspective and inspiring you to take action.
Exactly, Jason. Books are more than just words on a page. They're like conversations with some of the greatest minds in the world. And the best part? They can teach us lessons that stay with us for a lifetime.
So, whether you're a beginner reader or someone who already loves diving into self-help and growth books, stick around. We're going to share some of our favorite mindset-changing books, practical tips on how to make the most of them, and a few surprises along the way. Ready, Julia?
Let's do it, Jason. I can't wait to get started.
All right, before we dive into specific books, let's talk about why reading is such a powerful tool for mindset growth. Julia, what do you think makes reading so impactful when it comes to personal development?
You know, Jason, I think it's because reading gives you access to ideas, strategies, and perspectives you might never encounter in your everyday life. It's like having a mentor or coach at your fingertips. And the best part? Books don't just give you information, they give you a way to reflect and grow at your own pace.
That's so true. And when you read, it's not just about absorbing information, it's about challenging your current beliefs and opening your mind to new possibilities. And here's the thing, changing your mindset isn't an overnight process. It takes consistent effort, and books are a great way to keep that momentum going.
Exactly. For me, one of the biggest benefits of reading is that it gives you a sense of control over your growth. You're actively choosing to learn and evolve. I remember when I first read a book on mindfulness, it completely changed how I approached stress in my life. That one book set me on a whole new path.
That's such a great example, Julia. And I think for a lot of people, reading can also serve as a form of self-care. When you sit down with a book, you're creating time for yourself to grow, reflect, and dream bigger. It's like hitting the reset button for your mind.
Exactly. For me, one of the biggest benefits of reading is that it gives you a sense of control over your growth. You're actively choosing to learn and evolve. I remember when I first read a book on mindfulness, it completely changed how I approached stress in my life. That one book set me on a whole new path.
Well said, Julia. So for everyone listening, if you're looking to break free from limiting beliefs, discover new strategies for success, or even just find a fresh perspective on life, reading is a fantastic place to start. And trust me, the books we're about to discuss are some of the best to get you started.
That's right. Stick with us because these books might just be the inspiration you've been looking for.
All right, let's get into the heart of the episode, the books. Julie and I have picked a few incredible books that we believe can truly change your mindset. Let's start with our first pick, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Julia, what do you love about this one?
Atomic Habits. I think it's a game changer because it focuses on the small changes we often overlook. James Clear emphasizes that it's not about huge transformations overnight. It's about building tiny habits consistently that lead to significant results over time. What about you, Jason? What stands out to you?
For me, it's the idea of identity-based habits. Instead of just saying, I want to learn English, you start saying, I am someone who practices English every day. That mindset shift changes how you approach your goals. And I love how practical the book is. It's filled with actionable steps anyone can follow.
Absolutely, and I think for anyone listening, if you've struggled with staying consistent in your personal growth journey, this book can help you build habits that stick. Okay, Jason, what's the next book on our list?
The next one is The The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book is all about mindfulness and living in the present moment. Julia, I know you've mentioned how much this book has influenced you. Can you share more?
Of course, this book taught me to stop overthinking the past and worrying about the future. Eckhart Tolle explains that the present moment is the only place where life truly happens. I used to get so caught up in my thoughts, but this book helped me practice mindfulness and focus on what I can control now.
That's such a powerful lesson. And I think for anyone feeling overwhelmed, The Power of Now provides tools to quiet your mind and find peace in the chaos. What's one practical takeaway you got from it, Julia?
For me, it's the concept of observing your thoughts without judgment. When you realize you're not your thoughts, it becomes easier to let go of negativity. It's like a mental reset.
That's a great way to put it. Now let's move on to our third book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck. This is a classic when it comes to understanding how our beliefs shape our potential. Julia, what's your favorite part of this book?
I love how Dweck breaks down the idea of a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. She explains that people with a growth mindset believe they can improve through effort and learning, while those with a fixed mindset think their abilities are set in stone. It's such a simple concept, but it's life-changing.
Exactly. And I think what makes this book so relatable is the examples Dweck shares. Whether it's in education, sports, or business, she shows how adopting a growth mindset can lead to incredible results. Julia, how do you think this applies to personal growth?
Well, it's all about seeing challenges as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles. For example, if you're learning a new skill and you fail, a growth mindset helps you see that failure as part of the process, not the end of the journey.
Perfectly said. And for our listeners, if you ever feel stuck or think you can't improve in a certain area, Mindset is a must-read. It'll change how you view yourself and your potential.
Absolutely. These three books, Atomic Habits, The Power of Now, and Mindset, are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to books that can transform your thinking. Jason, should we share some tips on how to put these lessons into action?
Great idea, Julia. Let's help our listeners take what they learn from these books and apply it in their lives. Now that we've talked about these incredible books, let's dive into how you can take the lessons from them and actually apply them to your life. Julia, what's your top tip for turning book knowledge into real-life action?
My first tip is simple. Start small and focus on one idea at a time. Sometimes we read a book and feel inspired to change everything at once, but that's overwhelming. For example, from Atomic Habits, you could start by building just one small habit, like reading 5 pages a day. That one habit alone can create a ripple effect.
That's such a great point. My tip is to take notes while you read. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just jot down ideas or quotes that resonate with you. After you finish the book, review your notes and choose 2 or 3 takeaways to focus on. For instance, from The Power of Now, you might pick mindfulness exercises like focusing on your breathing or doing a daily gratitude practice.
Exactly, Jason. Another tip is to discuss the book with someone else. Whether it's a friend, a book club, or even an online community, talking about the lessons helps you process them better. Plus, you might gain new insights from other perspectives. For example, if you're exploring the growth mindset from Carol Dweck's book, ask others how they approach challenges in their lives.
That's such a valuable strategy. And here's another one. Revisit the books over time. The first time you read a book, you might not be ready to fully absorb every lesson. But when you come back to it later, you'll often find new insights that resonate with where you are in life. I've done this with Atomic Habits, and each time I reread it, I learn something new.
Same here, Jason. And let's not forget the importance of taking action immediately. If you finish a book and don't do anything with the knowledge, it's easy to forget. So, after reading, ask yourself, What's one thing I can do today to apply this? It could be as simple as starting a journal, trying a new habit, or even practicing a mindset shift.
That's such practical advice, Julia. And for our listeners, remember, the goal isn't to read as many books as possible. It's to make each book you read count. Start small, take notes, discuss, revisit, and most importantly, take action. That's how you turn knowledge into growth.
Exactly. Books are powerful, but their real value comes from how you use them in your daily life. So, pick a lesson, start applying it, and watch how it transforms your mindset.
Couldn't agree more. Coming up next, we'll share how you can engage with us and share your own favorite books that have changed your mindset. Stay tuned. All right, now we want to hear from you, our amazing listeners. Julia, let's invite them to share their experiences and thoughts.
Absolutely. Have you read any of the books we discussed today? Or do you have your own recommendations for books that changed your mindset? We'd love to know what's made an impact on your personal growth journey.
Yes, share your favorite books and the lessons you've learned in the comments or on our social media channels. You never know. Your suggestion might inspire someone else to pick up a life-changing book.
And if you're just starting out and wondering where to begin, let us know what areas of growth you're focused on. Whether it's building habits, overcoming challenges, or developing a growth mindset, we can guide you toward the right resources.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners like you who are passionate about personal growth.
And if you found today's episode helpful, share it with a friend. Let's build a community of lifelong learners and growth enthusiasts together.
Exactly. Thanks so much for being part of this journey with us. Coming up next day, we'll dive into another exciting topic to help you grow and thrive. See you then.
See you next time, and happy reading.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. We've covered some amazing books: Atomic Habits by James Clear, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and Mindset by Carol S. Dweck that can truly change the way you think and approach life.
We also shared practical tips to help you incorporate the lessons from these books into your daily life. Remember, personal growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every small step you take matters.
Exactly. And as we always say, the journey to a better mindset starts with a single action. So pick one takeaway from today's episode and put it into practice. You'll be amazed at how far it can take you.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We hope this episode inspires you to pick up one of these books and take the first step toward transforming your mindset.
Don't forget to follow our podcast for more episodes on personal growth and self-improvement. And if you enjoyed this discussion, share it with someone who might benefit from it too.
Until next time, stay curious, keep growing, and remember, you have the power to shape your mindset and your life.
Take care, everyone, and see you in the next episode.